Welcome to the leaner pathway. And if you're here right now watching this, you've decided that you want to get leaner or more toned or reduce your body fat down. But what is the big problem that we see with people who want to reduce their body fat? Well, we call it the fat loss trap. And essentially, it's those crash diets, it's those fads, it's the really restrictive stuff like no carbs and cutting out this and cutting out that. It's the stuff that does work short term and you will lose weight in the short term, but it's the stuff that doesn't work long term. And what often happens, well, statistically what happens is 80% of people regain the weight that they've lost after they've done one of these crash diets. And actually 50% of people gain more weight than when they started the diet in the first place, which is crazy. We don't want that. And the reason why that happens is because your identity hasn't changed. There's not been that identity shift that is required to make it a long-term change. You see it as something that you do in the short term that's really tough and really horrible, and you cutting everything out and you lose that weight in the short term. But in the long term, your habits haven't changed. Your identity hasn't shifted around food and exercise. So no wonder all of that weight goes back on after. And that's what we want to help you with. So in the leaner program, we have 4 levels. And essentially, this is a toolkit for you to follow, not a linear program like we just spoke about in that last slide. We want you to be able to learn things as you go and build on each level one at a time to help you get leaner and build habits for life. And the key thing here I want you to notice is that we only want you to use what you need. So if you do level 1 and you feel great and you progress to level 2 and you feel really great and you're losing the weight and you're feeling as lean as you want to be, you can just stop there. You don't need to keep progressing through the levels. It's totally flexible to you. It's totally progressive and it works around your lifestyle. So how is the program structured level by level? Well, first up, like we mentioned, we've got system maintenance at the beginning, and this is essentially the basics. This is improving your sleep quality. This is making sure you're getting enough steps and moving enough. This is improving your habits around food in terms of hunger-based signals. And then once we've done all of that stuff and you're feeling good, we can then move to level 2, which is where we start to talk about calories, calorie balance, things like calorie deficits that you've probably heard before, and using things like tracking apps. This is really important, and we're going to teach you how to eat when you're out in restaurants and how to control your calories. We then move on to level 3, where we start to talk about food quality, and this is where we really start to kind of tighten the screw or sharpen the axe, because you've made loads of good progress in those first 2 levels, but now you want to go that little extra step. And here's where we start talking about things like protein and things like getting more fiber to help accelerate that fat loss and build on that progress that you've already made. And then in the 4th and final level, we talk about sports nutrition. And now this is obviously getting much more specific. We talk about eating and the kind of foods that you're going to be eating around your training. So what's best to eat before you exercise and after you exercise. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more nuanced and complicated, but don't worry about doing level 4 until you've mastered the levels under it. And like I said, you might never get there anyway if you feel happy at one of the lower levels. So success for the whole program, for this leaner program, is that you're going to feel leaner and healthier. You're going to feel more confident inside the gym and outside the gym, in your clothes and out your clothes. We want you feeling super confident. You're going to have a nice personalized strategy, and primarily we want you to build positive habits for the rest of your life. So to summarize, please start with level 1, system maintenance, get those basics nailed on. Even if you feel a bit more advanced already and you want to jump straight to level 2 or 3, please don't. Have a week, have 2 weeks at level 1, build those really, really good foundations. We want you to get 80 to 90% adherence at each level before you advance. So wait until you're really nailing level 2 to like 80, 90% before you move to level 3, for instance. Because if you do it right, you do it once and you do it properly this one time, once you've gone up the ladder and up through the levels, you're never going to need to drop back down because you've built those habits and that routine for life. And if you do all of those things, you're going to feel leaner and you're going to see massive success. And I can't wait to help you in level 1.